Hey guys, what's going on? Flawless Crested Geckos here. Will, Audra.
Hi.
Coming to you guys with another video. This week we want to talk a little bit about shipping.
Yes.
More so, specifically cryo packs. Everyone ships differently, and disclaimer, this is just what, we do. This is not the end all be all across the board. Everyone has to do things the way we do it. This can be up for discussion, but we're just advising everyone on what works for us.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success with the way we pack.
Right, and also this pertains specifically for us dealing with crested geckos, lychees, Chihuahua, pretty much New Caledonian gecko species. We believe it also works in other areas, but this is where we're known as far as with our packing and shipping when it comes to crested geckos and New Caledonia species of geckos. Anyway,
yes.
Cryo packs are gonna be, for us, it's like, I mean, they're awesome. Number one,
They're like they're like saviors.
right, and obviously we want to plug our partner, Redline Shipping.
Redline Shipping.
Which is where we get our
Move your face.
Our cryo packs from.
There it is, Redline Shipping. They're really awesome.
It's really, really awesome. So the reason we wanted to emphasize on this, we get a lot of questions about it, and we're probably going to be doing an in-depth shipping, how we do shipping on our Patreon. But in general, the cryo packs, no matter where you get them from, we tend to use them with every package that we ship out, whether it's in the winter or it's in the summer. Only time typically you're not going to receive a cryo pack from us is if the weather is literally for 2 to 3 days of a stretch. We always check, 2 to 3 days.
And whether, let's clarify that, whether from the origin,
Right.
which is either is from us, to
Memphis.
its destination, which is to the buyer, and all the hubs in between that it could go through.
Right. If the temps that Audra's speaking about is all around 72 to 75, typically you're not going to receive a cryo pack from us. So it's not very often that temps are perfect like that. So
Across the board.
Across the board. So we package a cryo pack with every single one. Now these things are very expensive when you consider, I mean, we send hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of geckos out, and I mean, those things are what, $4 each,
so.
something like $4 each, even
Something
with
like
bulk discount. But they're reusable. So when you guys receive these, make sure, Audra's doing a horrible, display.
I'm sorry.
But make sure that you save them. You can put them in a freezer. You can let them sit at room temperature. Right now it's kind of mushy, but it's not completely liquid.
Yes.
Because inside our home, it's always like 70 degrees inside here.
It's more than 70.
Yeah, or 68. So it kind of...
It's more than 68. What you
it
talking
kind of
about?
stays a solid state.
Yes.
But the turning point on it, and it says it actually on the back, is 74 to 75 degrees.
So,
that's where it breaks
see
from
if we can get up here closer.
from liquid to solid, or from solid to liquid.
Right.
So the reason we utilize these is you want to plan for as much as you can for absolute disaster.
Yes, you do.
It's happened with us. Thankfully, we've used these, and I mean, like I said, knock on wood, it's been great. We sometimes you'll get
My head is not wood.
layovers in Memphis or
Indianapolis.
Oh my God, I try not to even say that name. Typically, most of our shipments go through Memphis.
Memphis is your largest hub, and then Indianapolis is second.
Right, and Indianapolis, typically for us, when we've had issues, it's when geckos go through Indianapolis, and I can count on.
He says that, but
both
I
hands.
I
Yes,
disagree. I say
agree
it's Memphis.
1,000%.
Y'all who've shipped a lot, y'all down in those comments.
I'm right, she's
y'all tell us which hub
Indianapolis
you have
is
the
a
most problems
horror.
with. See, I've always said it's been Memphis. It's Memphis all the time.
Well,
Now
so-
our hub is on point.
Yeah.
They love us there.
So the reason why you want to ship these is because, say you ship out your gecko, we try not to ship out on Mondays. being that it's a feeding day,
Yes.
it's an absolute chaos for us. But
well, and notoriously, if you're going to get delayed, even in regular good weather, it's going to be Monday for Tuesday.
So typically, our full shipping days are Tuesday and Wednesday, but we try to adhere to everyone else's schedules as well. Preferably, I know we're getting a little deeper than cryo packs. Preferably, we like to ship to hubs. As crazy as it sounds, as many geckos as we have, as many geckos as we purchase, snakes, everything, the whole 9 yards, we always go to hub. We never get them shipped to our home because we never know. You want to make sure your gecko is in the least amount of hands as possible. And the reason I say that, yes, you can have an awesome driver. Things happen.
What if he's out sick that day?
He may be going through an argument. He or she may be going through an argument with their girlfriend or boyfriend and leave your gecko in a unheated or uncooled vehicle. They may decide to take a lunch before they get to you. They may say, the heck with FedEx schedule. I'm taking a break. But the main point of what I'm trying to say is if you can stop it at the hub near your home before it gets onto the vehicle to endure more chances of something happening, why not? So that's why we only get things delivered to hub and we pick up there.
Hubs are typically temperature controlled. And
also it helps build a rapport
relationship with your hub.
I mean, we've had our hub call us because someone shipped us without sending us tracking or anything, shipped us a package, a gecko, a snake or whatever, before the day they were actually supposed to ship, and they call us and say, hey, you got a package here waiting, you know, and I mean, call us on like our cell phones, you know, they know us by first name when we come in and out. And I mean, it's pretty much, I'll go out on the limb and say it's the whole staff at the hub that knows us now.
The majority of them do.
They've changed staff. The new staff knows us now because we ship out so much and we receive so much. So that's always another a hash mark to kind of put in your favor, because I don't know, you guys may want to do a search on Google, test yourselves right now if you're shippers or breeders, because we did it ourselves, where if you Google your local FedEx hub, you won't find a local phone number.
No.
You cannot call that hub unless you have an inn where you know someone there, or you have a small town. We get the 800 number, and you call the 800 number, and they will not transfer you to the hub. You
will forever be talking to that automated lady, and you will be forever screaming into the phone, representative.
Yeah, you will get nowhere. And I get it's for safety reasons and don't want hubs being harassed and things like that. But we actually made it to a point where we have actual phone numbers for cell phone numbers for personal phone numbers for the workers, because they're so I guess intrigued with what we actually do.
They're great. Yeah.
So now to get back on topic, you really want to utilize it. Yes, it's pricey. Get hooked up with Redline Shipping. Order from them.
Let's take just a second too and discuss the fact that these do heat. A lot of people think that they don't heat.
But let's say they regulate.
Yeah, they regulate. So on the back of it, I'm going to just give you a quick synopsis of the directions for the use so that you guys know what manufacturer's directions state. Directions for use: cooling supplement, refrigerate the ship safe. Phase packs to pre-cool to the desired temperature. For best results, the temperature should be below the phase change temperature of 74 degrees, which we showed you earlier in the video. As a heating supplement, pre-warm the Cocoa phase packs in a warm water bath to the desired temperature. For best results, the temperature should be above the phase change temperature of 74 degrees. Do not microwave these things. Don't. That's in big bold letters on the back to not do that. So just throwing it out there. So, these things are not made to warm your box or cool your box. They're made to keep it at a certain temperature.
It makes it hard for the temps inside the box to transition, which is a good thing. So it's very important. That's why we want to make a video specifically on these. We're not going to touch that one just yet, but she has something else we're going to show you guys. The reason and then also with our packaging with geckos, we've seen it a lot with snakes. We are not well versed with shipping out other reptiles other than crested geckos and New Caledonia geckos. In our common practice, we do not poke holes in boxes. We do not poke holes in boxes because a couple of reasons. When they design these boxes, it's specifically for reptiles. It's insulated, so it's gonna, if it's hot outside, it wants to keep the hot from getting in. If it's cold outside, it wants to prevent the cold from getting in to the inside of the box. So if you pop a hole through the box, through the barrier, through the insulation, you just made space for the outer elements to get inside the box.
And with the New Caledonia species specifically, we found that they're obviously they're room temperature animals.
Right.
So they're not the kind that if it's cold, if it's a little cold at the hub or whatever, that it's gonna cause some major problems inside the box. So you just wanna keep all that contained inside the box.
Absolutely.
With ball pythons, I know that they need that heat, but obviously you're worried about them getting maybe
plus I
overheated
believe
or whatnot,
they're more so worried about breathing as well. We'll touch on that as well. So you would think, because that's the most referenced thing about the crested geckos or New Caledonia geckos is, can they breathe? Yes, they can breathe. They are smaller animals even when they're ready to breed. How you say it, adults size geckos, they breathe perfectly fine. Even in a 7x7x7 completely sealed up, there's plenty of air in there for days. We've had a gecko, which is why we wanted to do this video. We had a gecko sent to us that was perfectly packaged, that was left over for 24 hours following day, and it arrived perfectly safe. We sent out a gecko that was held over for 48 hours.
No. So what happened is we sent them out to get them there because it was an export.
Right.
It was an export, and we sent it out.
Export meaning it's going to another country.
Yeah, it's going to another country. So we sent it out to get to our domestic hub, which was geckos, etc. So we sent it out on a Wednesday. It didn't get there we sent it out on a Thursday, which we don't typically do. Okay,
right.
We don't do that, but that was to make the deadline for the export. So we sent it out on Thursday to get there on the Friday. It was delayed from Friday, so that means that Saturday was when it should have been picked up. Well, they don't pick up on Saturdays at most hubs and such. So it had to sit in the hub
till Monday,
and Geckos etc. picked up and whatnot,
and everything was
perfectly fine. They were fine.
It was really, really awesome to do, but now it's like we will change our export if we need to do that now.
We're just gonna,
because we had everything was perfect. Like I said, anytime you involve FedEx, which is a much larger enterprise, everything is not their fault. No. Mistakes happen, but all they had to do was deliver the package, and they couldn't get it done through whatever.
Didn't get on the plane
I see the stab, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. Comment down below again if you have any interactions or experience dealing with this. But this is
what Flawless Crested Geckos here, Will and Audra,
and we're here to tell you guys about our new Patreon tier. Have you guys ever played the lottery, lose, and get all your money back?
That's not really a thing, is it? Oh, but yes it is. With our new tier, the $100 a month, you get every single bit of your money back for the entire year. But guess what? It doesn't end at the end of the year. No, you have rollover. So you can continue to build your savings account as much as you would like. But guess what? That's not all.
That's right.
You also is the biggest perk?
Are automatically entered for our annual free Exantic giveaway. Visual Exantic.
A free visual Exantic. Oh my gosh. Who does that? We do.
That's right. So you guys are going to want to go over to patreon.com/Flawless Crested Geckos and check us out.
Join the Flawless family.
But this is what has worked for us. So we don't poke holes in any boxes for New Caledonia style geckos. We want to make sure it's completely sealed up. We do push packing paper. We have a whole little design on what we put inside. Again, you can view that on Patreon. We're dropping a video soon. But we're going to touch slightly on heat packs. So heat packs, there's two different styles of heat packs that we generally use. We happen to grab one that we don't use often, that we have a lot.
Very often,
this is the 60-hour heat pack. we like to use the 72-hour heat pack. It's not just because of the length of time, it's because apparently through research and us finding other people that are shippers or big breeders that use these heat packs, that the 72-hour heat pack does not have such an intense heat spike to heat the packs. It kind of gradually heats and releases the heat element over that span of time,
which is ideal more so for New Caledonia species,
right,
rather than a sudden spike of heat.
And also the 60 and 48 is just like a no-go. That's like absolute worst if you have to use it. We will explain briefly how to use it, but with
we have a bunch of these.
Right, we have a bunch of them. But they're like they're still useful. They're still useful, especially with the way we utilize them. So really quick with these, there is a higher heat spike. You don't want to overheat your gecko. Tip: you will prefer your gecko to be on the colder side rather than the hotter side. Okay, guys? You can heat your gecko up through room temperature. Once you get him into your home, once you get him into quarantine,
they'll be fine.
They will be completely fine. We've literally, geckos can go down to 50, 40 degrees and they will move slower. It's just like the winter time. If you have a fluctuation in temps, where they'll move around slower, they won't eat as much, they just chill out and not burn as much energy. It's almost like a hibernation mode.
Well, it's an innate ability. It's built into their systems.
But that does not hurt them as much as intense heat that they can't get away from.
They will legitimately die in minutes.
Right. And I believe, we're completely transparent. In all of our shipping, we've lost one gecko. In all the years we've been doing it, we've lost one gecko. Unfortunately, it was a temperature grade of going from South Carolina to hot Texas. And that sparked even more intense research for us to try to remedy any future problems.
And this was at the beginning of our shipping.
Right.
Experiences. So
everything we're telling you guys is what we utilize. When it comes to space and boxes, typically we're doing a 7x7x7 or a 7x7x6. We do go larger boxes. If you're gonna have probably 3 or more geckos, we'll get even a larger box. Yes, we can fit 3 geckos into a 7x7, but we don't risk it.
We don't like doing that.
We don't like doing it, especially if we have to put a heat pack, which is why we want to just touch on this briefly. So either one of them, we still want to play it safe, whether it's 60. This is how you can safely use the 60s, but the 72-hour ones are optimum. So when you do your heat packs, we typically put our gecko toward the bottom of
we put
the
our
7x7.
gecko on the bottom,
on top of the styrofoam, and then we put all our packing paper, which creates a space of getting them away from the heat. We want them completely as far away from the heat as possible. We only want to utilize the heat to keep it from being cold, to keep it from being completely frozen. So you don't want it to get up near it and cook it. Another thing which we will end on this long video is we tend to take this and we take the cryo pack and we put them together. Okay, so reason we do that is we'll put the heat pack on the lid and then we'll put the cryo pack on top of the heat, and the
cryo pack's on top of the packing paper that's on top of the gecko.
Right.
Against the heat.
So we try to fuse them together. So basically the heat pack now heats up the cryo pack. The cryo pack, even if you put it in a refrigerator or freezer, yes, it will become solid, which is what you want when in the summertime. But once you remove that cryo pack from the freezer, this is another thing you guys should know. This is not an ice pack. This is not an ice pack. So it will not stay cold. It will stay solid.
It's a temperature controlling device.
Right. So it will stay solid until it meets 74 degrees and higher, which it will start the breakdown of that cryo pack, which depending on the heat temp takes longer. The lower the temperature is, the higher the temperature is, it's still going to take a little bit of time to break down that heat pack. So when we sandwich that up together with the heat, it starts to break it down. But the theory is it regulates the temperature inside of the box. So the cryo pack is fighting to stay at 74 degrees. Your heat pack is not right. It's not as hot to make everything just completely liquid. So
it keeps everything neutral in the box for said gecko for the period of time.
Which is why we use a 72-hour one, because it dispels the heat at a moderate level, at a moderate rate, rather than the spikes that the 60 hours give you.
And just a really quick side note, so you guys know the manufacturer's directions for these. You are going to open the outer package and expose the warmer to air. For best results, individually wrap warmers loosely with a piece of newspaper and place warmers along walls of shipping boxes or between shipping containers. Make sure to create space between the shipping item and warmer with loose fill or newspaper. When waiting for the warmers to heat up, do not put warmers on a solid surface that obstructs airflow. Place the warmer in a closed space like a paper bag or a wrap warmer with newspaper to ensure airflow. Warmer temperature by design rises gradually and will feel warm after 45 to 90 minutes. The biggest thing about this is there's a red, if you can kind of see it through the package, you can see this red line right here. The biggest thing is when you open it, you want to open it a good minute prior to actually packing it in your box.
We try to open it around about an hour before. Typically it's like an assembly line when we got packages going out in the winter, especially like Black Friday and stuff like that. So we'll go through them. And honestly, we do it that way, and sometimes we end up wasting some. Because let's say we open up 50 of them and we'll lay them out, and now we're starting to package.
We only need 46.
We only needed 46. Then, we still have, 4 left over. Now they're just a waste. It's
I'd
just
rather
cost that we
throw them away than my geckos not have exactly what they need in
It's
the box.
important because for us, we try to make sure our count is perfect, but it's only the 2 of us and we're answering messages. We're doing everything we can. So sometimes we would prefer that we're left with 1 or 2, not 4, but 1 or 2 left over. We try to hit it perfect every single time, but we'll rather take that $4 or $5 hit and just not use it, because even if we have to ship the following day, we won't use those. We'll still open up new ones because we don't want to cut the hours short. But reason being, we want to make sure that they're heating and moving.
Because some of them
mistakes can be made. Some of them don't heat. We ran into probably on one hand out of hundreds, probably 1,000 now heat packs that on one hand we've had some not heat. Really just open them up, not heat.
And they sit there and they're just cold.
And I think it may be something, I don't know what little us can do about it, but it may be something in the packaging, because I don't think they really thought these things through completely foolproof.
No.
Reason being is this is how they come packaged. I mean, a ton of them, we order them by the cases, but this is just plastic. So if you're dealing with something that's air activated, if something pokes a hole and gets air into the package, it may start activating it.
There's a little notch right here, that, if you can see it, because it's really trying to focus on everything but what I'm trying to get it to focus on. There it goes. There's a little notch literally right here. And literally, if anything touches that, it's open.
Or, like I said, if it gets punctured somehow, you don't quite see it, and it's getting activated, and then when you you're running late, and you rip it open, you shake it up, and you didn't know, and you package it, it's already went through its heat phase while it was in the package. So I guess the failure rate on those is so low that they don't worry about it, but when we're dealing with live animals that we love and care about, it's very important to us. So we want to make sure that these things are all prepped and ready. We used to have our complete outdoor freezer stacked with these. Now we have it to a point, because it's so cool in the house, that they can be solid, and then we'll still put them in the freezer and then the regular refrigerator, and then we'll transport them over. So we want to give the heat pack some time to heat up, make sure that they're activated and useful, and then we put them together. So we kind of, every single package, you're pretty much out of $10 immediately in the winter time. But that's why you want to make sure that you're putting out, producing some amazing animals and just shipping them properly.
But I guess that's really it.
Is there anything else we can touch on?
Anything else?
Like I said, your shipping needs, definitely go through Redline Shipping. If you're going to be shipping, you can utilize Flawless 5.
Flawless 5, the code, get $5 off.
And that's
I
pretty
think
much
they can
about
use it, and they use it once or twice.
I believe they can use it
twice.
once. Try it twice. Try it as many times as you want. You know,
I think I think you're right. I think it might be once.
You know, but I don't know. Comment down below if you utilize our code and you got the discount. Let us know if it helped you out, even if it was just a couple of bucks to put you, towards your next gecko.
Yeah.
Hey, also check out our website, flawlesscrestedgeckos.com. We have some amazing geckos posted, as you already know, per the commercial. Check our Patreon out.
Yes.
Hit us up on Morph Market. Hit that follow link so you'll be alerted anytime you follow certain breeders on Morph Market. We utilize Morph Market more so for marketing and advertisement. It is the last thing we kind of post up on. We will be updating on Morph Market this week, but it's going to have everything from our website, so you're going to want to go there and check out first. And we greatly appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
So
we couldn't do this without you guys.
Hopefully this information was very, very useful. Yes. You get some insight on how we do things here, specifically for New Caledonia geckos.
Yes.
Because everyone do things differently, and I'm not saying, or we're not saying, that anyone else is doing anything wrong. We just want to make sure that we do our job and try to prevent any, deaths that could be preventable.
Yeah.
So it's Will, Audra, Flawless Crested Geckos, and we are out.